come on in and welcome to my home. Since it's the end of summer, well, alright, so it's not totally the end of summer, but it'll soon be the end of summer, it's my time of the year to start really baking and looking at my baking goods and everything. So I want to talk to you about your spices. I was asked by Veronique about how long can you keep your spices, and it's really kind of simple, and I'll tell you what I do versus what you're told to do. The general philosophy behind this is that you can keep your ground spices for 1 to 2 years. Now, this can be sort of difficult because we're not 100% certain when your ground spices were actually ground. What happens is you go out and buy a spice and it could actually be in the spice container for quite a while. I generally like to replenish my spices about once a year. That's why I don't buy tons and tons of things, or you'll see me use quite the same spice quite a lot, so that way I don't have to keep buying tons and tons of it. Now that goes true for cinnamon, that goes true for all of those ground spices. Now one of the things which will help keep them to last longer is keep them away from heat, keep them away from light, and put them in a cool, dry place. One of the things I've seen a lot of people do is put them over the oven. Not such a great idea. Or put them out on a bright sunny counter. No. I like to put mine into mason jars or the little tiny canning jars and then seal the lids on very, very tight. That helps keep the lids, that helps keep the flavors in for longer, and I can generally keep them for 1 year to 2 years. Now, I do not have to replenish mine every year, but I generally do. Now, for the whole spices, those can last up to 4 years. Yes, the 4 years for things like whole nutmeg, whole cinnamon, those sort of items can last for a long time, and I love that. Seeds, except for poppy seeds. Poppy seeds generally just last a year. The seeds, those last for quite a while, so it's about 4 years when you're dealing with those whole things. Now, there are some exceptions to this rule, of course, and I'm not going to go into every exception. You're wondering about the extracts. Well, I've found with my extracts, they can last a long, long time. I have been told if you make your own homemade vanilla like I do with the, just hit that button up there, it'll tell you how to make vanilla. You can keep that indefinitely. Yeah, I mean, alcohol preserves things, and we are making our homemade vodkas with, well, vodka. Or you can do it with brandy or rum. That way you can keep those things indefinitely. In fact, I use so much of mine that I almost never have to worry about that. Now, some of you are saying, well, I see a Best By date on the container. Is that when I should get rid of it? No. What that is that's just telling the store that that's the best time for it to sell, for it to be at its most potential flavor. So, if it's after that date, the flavor might have dissipated some. Now, all of these things are great and wonderful, but you're going to have to go off of taste, because some of these things will last for such a long time versus others lose their taste almost instantly. I've found recently, since I have my own little herb garden, I'm growing my herbs and using them fresh, so that's not even become an issue. But I've had some herbs, like especially basil, which lasts a really long time, and then other herbs, like my rosemary for 1 year, didn't last more than a year. So you really do have to experiment and see how it tastes to you. But there's your generalizations. About 1 year for the ground things, about 4 years for the whole items, and then extracts can last almost indefinitely. Pretty simple. Now, if you have any ideas or comments about this, let me know down in the comment part. If this is your first time here, remember to subscribe. Every Wednesday is tips for you and your house, and I love giving you these tips, and if you have questions that you'd like me to answer, let me know down in the comment section, and I hope I get to see you again next time.